Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and it is day 19 of the Countdown to Christmas card series. And the theme for today was sketch. So I chose a sketch from Kendra's card challenge that I just showed on the screen. And so now I'm just going to show you some of the supplies that I'm using for this card for today. I did adjust a little bit in the sketch. It had called for just 1/4-inch strips of paper for this section, and I ended up using foiled cardstock, and I just made my strip wider. But to start with, I'm going to take this little panel, which is 3 1/4 by 1 3/4, and I am going to stamp some stamps which are from a Lawn Fawn stamp set. It was like a shaker, a snow globe stamp set, and it has this cute little row of houses, Santa and his sleigh. So I'm just going to use the VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink, and I am going to stamp these down so that I can create this little scene on my card. And then once I get those stamped down with the black ink, I'm going to remove those and add in the large tree next to my row of houses, and then I will add the smaller tree. For the larger tree, I am going to use Rustic Wilderness as my color. And for the other one, I think I used Bundled Sage was my second color that I used. So I did stamp these a couple of times because I didn't ink them up as well as I'd wanted to, and I think my magnet was in the way it's kind of close to the edge of there, so I do move it and then end up moving it completely out of the way to try to get a better impression with my stamp. And then I will take that one off and put the little one on and get that stamped. I will stamp that a couple of times, and then I am going to take some water-based markers from my stash, and I am going to color in all of my rows of my buildings. One looks like kind of a church, I got a couple of houses. So I'm just going to speed through this. I did leave it in, but I did speed it up. And while I am coloring, I just wanted to tell you about the card series. So this is 25 holiday projects that we are bringing you 2 videos a week on Mondays and Fridays. I am joining Michelle from Scrap Secrets. This is her holiday series that she normally does every year. And last year I guest designed for her. I joined her for one of the videos, and this year we've been talking together about growing our channels and keeping motivated to create content, and she's asked me if I would want to do all 25 videos with her this year. So I thought it was a great idea and a great way to keep myself making content, because for a while I didn't put out very much and I wanted to be more consistent with that, and this has definitely helped me with it. So I'm loving this. I can't believe that there are only a few projects left. It's crazy to me. I have a few filmed ahead, so I think I have 3 more projects to film, and then I have everything done. I just have to do editing and get them ready. So there are giveaways for this, so I will link the playlist, which includes the intro videos, at the end of this, so you can catch up on everything and get all the details about the giveaways. So now that my coloring is done, I'm taking this Pops of Color. It's kind of like Stickles kind of material, and I'm just adding it to the white space of the trees, and then I'm going to run a line of it all along the bottom of this card, because I didn't quite stamp it to the bottom and it looked like everything was kind of floating, so I wanted to give it a little bit of snow. So this is a little bit sparkly, and so I will set that aside to dry. I don't completely dry it before I put my card together. I am just very careful while I'm doing it. So this is just a piece of pattern paper, which is from my stash, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to adhere that with some liquid glue to an A2 size card base, giving myself a nice little border of white all the way around. And then I will take it's got a little pattern in it, but it's kind of tone on tone, so it's subtle, this green strip, and attach it to my foiled paper. And that foiled sheet is 3 1/4 by 2. No, that's the upper section. I lied. I'll put the measurements down below. because I know if I'm going to try to do them during this voiceover, I will screw them up completely. So I'm just going to adhere that down with some liquid glue. And then off screen, I had this extra sentiment. It's from a Hero Art stamp set. So some little Merry Christmas strips. So I added that as my sentiment. It was sitting around. Didn't want to waste it, so I figured I would use that. Then this one is the 3 1/4 by 2 inch piece. And then I will add my 3 1/4 by 1 3/4 stamped panel on top of it. Like I said, it is not dry by any means, so I'm just going to be very careful when I adhere it down so that I don't touch this pops of color that is still wet and smear it everywhere. And by some miracle, I managed to not smear it and let it sit and dry, which for me is amazing. And then there were embellishments that were listed in the sketch, and I didn't place them in the same area, but I did want to add some. So I dug in my stash and found a rainbow section of these little gems from Honeybee Stamps. So I'm just going to take some red ones, and I'll put one on each side of the sentiment, and then I'm going to put 3 on the left-hand side of the stamped panel. It's very subtle because it's already on red, so it's not really, in your face. I could have used bigger embellishments, but I thought these coordinated nicely with the colors that I had chosen for this project. If you have any questions about today's card, feel free to leave me a comment down below. And as always, I hope that you have a great day.